Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to your mat. My name is Ellie Cooper and I am a yoga teacher in Christchurch, New Zealand. And today we are going to be working in towards a little slow flow. So it doesn't really matter what time of the day it is, just this is perfect little movement medicine for when you just need to shake out some dust and you just need to feel a little bit more realigned. Now this practice can be done first thing in the morning, late in the evening, in your most comfiest, beautiful pajamas. It is completely up to you. But when you are ready, we are gonna work through some really beautiful fluid movements. We're gonna give ourselves space and time just to feel good. And that is the invitation of this practice today. It's just to feel good. Really nice way to work our way head to toe. So again, we can shake out that dust and just feel a little bit better than when we first walked on our mat. Now that being said, we are going to get started today at the back of our mat in either a child's pose or an embryo. So for child's pose, you'll bring your toes together, your knees wider apart. And for embryo, you'll bring the knees together and the arms reaching long back behind you. Either way, when you're ready, we're going to bow our way down towards the mat. So give yourself space and time to get set up in the way that you need to, in the way that feels right. And then when you're ready from here, reach your arms out long, bow the head down towards the ground, or reach your arms back long and bow the head down to the ground. And once you're here, we're going to find a few moments just to pause, to arrive, to give ourselves space and time to breathe, to feel a sense of grounding. Now, if the eyes are open, I invite you to close them. If closing them doesn't feel quite right, you are always more than welcome to soften the gaze down to the ground. But when you're ready, we give ourselves space to start to drop in, just to gently notice the breath, its journey in and out of the body, the way that the body responds to the inhale and the exhale. A moment to reflect on the pause of the breath in and the pause on the breath out. To notice this liminal space in which we linger, knowing that there's always space and time to explore. There's always space and time to be present. And from here, we give ourselves space to start to deepen the breath, to give ourselves a moment to breathe a little softer, a little more intentionally. And we allow our minds to anchor into the breath, to use it as a tether to the present moment, to know that our breath is always a place of refuge we can return to when the mind starts to wander into unhelpful places. And so as you connect into your breath, can you start to breathe in towards the rib cage as you take a breath in? And on the exhale, feel the body soften back down towards the mat. Inhale to feel your belly rise. And exhale to feel the belly gently fall. Breathing in deeply. And exhaling out intentionally. One more deep breath in. And one more deep breath out. And from here, we allow the breath to return back to its normal rhythm and pace. Again, a mind marker of where we can return to when we need to in our practice today. But when you're ready, if you're in an embryo shape, I invite you to come into child's. And when you're in child's, we'll give ourselves a moment just to ground the palms down towards the mat, to find a little lift of the forearms up and off of the ground. Maybe the head lifts in response. But when you're ready, gently start to sway your body side to side. A moment here just to work through a little bit of cathartic sway, to maybe notice the hands on the ground, the texture of the mat beneath you. We'll find another deep round of breath to sway in space, just like this, side to side and left to right. And then when you're ready, I'll invite you to come back through center, to come up higher on your fingertips so we feel them tent down towards the ground, palms lifted up and off the earth. And from here, we continue that little cathartic sway side to side, but maybe you get a little more playful with it. Maybe you introduce a little bit of a swivel of the rib cage, working your way from one edge of the mat and then over to the other. A moment here just to feel a bit of weight transfer from shin to shin. Another round of breath here to sway in space. And then gently coming back through center, through neutral, we'll walk the fingertips closer back in towards us so the spine comes more upright off the ground. Now from here, I want you to think about the fingertips hugging in towards the center of your palm so you feel the energy from the ground move up and towards your forearm, creating strength here through the center of your hand. And then as you find your next breath in, we'll move through a cow-like shape, tipping the tailbone towards the sky as you pull the sternum out and forward. And on your exhale, we'll ground down through the fingertips, arc your upper back as you drop the chin in towards your chest, tucking the tailbone under to move your way through a cat-like shape. On your next breath in, tilt the tailbone up high to the sky as you draw the sternum out and forward. On the out breath, arc through the upper back, draw everything into center. Inhale here to tip the hips as you lift the heart forward. Out breath to ground down as you arc your upper back, tucking the tailbone under. And one more round just like this. Breathing in to tip and lift. And breathing out to ground down as you arc your way through. Inhaling in through a neutral spine. And on the exhale, walk your fingertips back in. Draw the knees and the thighs together as you give yourself a moment to come into Virasana through the back of the mat. And once you find yourself in towards Virasana, or at least a comfortable shape, if this is feeling uncomfortable, you can bring a block, a bolster, a blanket, whatever you need underneath you. But when you're ready, we'll breathe in to reach the arms up high to the sky. And on the exhale, you'll start to cactus through your elbows as you start to open up through the front of the heart. Breath in, arms move up towards the ceiling as you reach tall. Exhale to cactus the elbows and feel the shoulder blades slide down your back. Deep breath in to move the arms up towards the sky. And exhale to cactus the elbows as you feel the shoulder blades pull down to the earth. Now this time here, as you breathe in, round your upper back, draw the forearms together, chin tucks in towards the chest as you round through your spine. Nice work. Exhale to stay. Inhale to pull the forearms apart back to cactus as you lift the sternum up towards the sky. Exhale when you're ready, pull the energy into center, forearms, palms meet to touch as the upper back rounds. Inhale to open yourself up wide. And exhale to round everything in as you draw into center. Breathe in, open up. And exhale, give yourself space to round through. Breathe in to open up for the last time. And then on your exhale, take your right back of the hand towards the outer left thigh. Back of the left hand moves towards the small of your back. Taking a deep breath in as you lengthen the crown of the head towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, maybe the gaze moves up and over the left shoulder. One more deep round of breath here. And then when you're ready, gently take your way over towards the right. Back of the left hand moves over towards the outer right thigh. Back of the right hand moves towards the small of your back. A deep breath in to feel a little bit of axial extension through the spine, reaching the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Exhale, gently pull the eyes over the right shoulder if that feels right. One more round of breath to stay. And then when you're ready, gently unwind your spine back up and through center. From center here, if it feels good and right, we'll tuck the toes under, sending our hips back towards our heels. Now, just a little side note, if this feels a little bit too much underneath the bottoms of your feet, you're more than welcome to come onto a bolster or a blanket underneath your shins to take a little bit of weight out, or you can always draw the fingertips out and forward and stay here. But when you're ready, we'll sit back hips to heels. And from here, we'll interlace the fingertips out in front of us and pushing the palms forward towards the front of the room. As you take a deep breath in, lift the hands up high to the sky. As you exhale, round through the upper back as you push the palms out and forward. Inhale, when you're ready, lift the hands up high to the sky. And then on the exhale, we're going to get a little funky with it. Bumping the left rib cage over towards the left side of our mat, swing the arms out and through, and then taking big turns here with the palms up towards the ceiling. So we're starting to circulate through the spine, through the shoulders, through the palms, giving yourself space to work through something that feels really good. Again, dusting out those little creaks, those cracks, giving yourself a moment to get through the nooks, the crannies, taking your sway and your circle of the palms up in the other direction and the other way. And again, exploring a little bit of freedom here through the back, reaching in towards the places that feel good and right. And then when you're ready, inhale, palms move up high to the sky. Exhale, unwind the hands, bring the hands out in front of you, landing them underneath the shoulders, coming up off the feet as you pitter-patter out through the toes. And then once you're here, give yourself a moment to pause in towards your tabletop, to get neutral through the spine, hugging the low belly in. And then picking up the left knee, drawing it close in towards you so the thigh meets up and towards the belly. Step the left foot out and forward to the outside of the left hand. Come up high to fingertips or stay low to palms. It's up to you. But when you're ready, we'll start to gently move our way north and south along our mat. So bumping our hips up and down. A moment here just to get in towards them, just to create a little bit of movement. We've been sitting and in child's pose for quite a while. So it's nice just to build a little bit of heat, a little bit of warmth through the hips. And if it feels good, we'll start to circulate the hips up and around the mat, moving them in one direction. Finding space here just to maybe even find figure eights. Eventually, when you're ready, circling them up and through the other way. And then from here, when you're ready, give yourself space to pause. Walk your fingers out a little bit further in front of you, and then lift the sternum up high to the sky as you sink the hips down towards the ground to make your way in towards a low runner's lunge. On your next breath in, ground down through your right palm. Lift the left arm up high to the sky as you twist your way open. Breathing in to reach long fingertip to fingertip. And then on the exhale, cactus the left elbow, pull the left shoulder blade onto your back as maybe you find a bit more rotation through the spine. Maybe the gaze moves up towards the sky as well. And then when you're ready, take the left hand down underneath your left shoulder, walk the fingertips closer in towards you. As the left leg starts to go long, left toes pull back in towards your face for half Hanuman. Once you're here, bump the left hip back, reach the sternum out and forward as the toes pull in. And then on your exhale, walk your way back towards your low runner's lunge, sinking the hips low as the sternum reaches out and forward. When you're ready, walk it back in towards you, half Hanuman, toes pull in, left leg long. And then walk it back out in front of you, left foot grounds as the hips drop low and the heart reaches proud. Walk it back in towards you, left leg long, left toes in. And then for the one last time, walk it back towards the top of the mat, hips sink low. Now from here, pick up the right toes up and off of the ground so the right heel squeezes in towards your glute. Take the right toes and pivot them towards the left side of your mat so they're working their way in towards your left heel. Now from here, left hand moves to the inner arc of the left foot. As you breathe in, right arm reaches you up high to the sky as you move your way in towards a little mini warrior extended side angle, As you find your next breath in, push down through the back shin as you reach both arms out north and south, working your way into a mini warrior two. Inhale to take the left hand up high to the sky. Right hand slides down the back leg. Breathing in to feel in length through the left side of the body. And on the exhale, we find groundedness, sturdiness through the hips as we walk in. Breathe in one more time. And then on the exhale, left forearm moves towards the left thigh. Right arm's going to reach up and over as you give yourself space to lean into the lunge. Maybe the knee moves over the left toes. Breathing in to pull the right shoulder back. The gaze reaches up high to the sky. And exhale to stay. Inhale when you're ready. Both hands move back up and towards your mini warrior two. And then hands will windmill underneath your shoulders as you pivot the right toes towards the back of the mat. From here, right hand's gonna land underneath your shoulder. Right toes are gonna pivot towards the back of your right side of your mat. Left leg's gonna go long, so we're reaching our way out and towards a little gate pose. Left fingertips reach up high to the sky. Again, we have broadness through the collarbones as we reach fingertip to fingertip. Give yourself a moment here just to stay, to feel sturdy and steady. If it feels good, you can hover the left foot up and off of the mat. A little bit of a supported side plank. A deep breath in. And an exhale out. On your next breath in, the left hand regrounds underneath you. Left knee pulls back in to meet the right, so we meet back in tabletop. When you're ready from here, shift your hips down towards the ground and lower your weight down towards the belly. Once your belly hits the earth, wing out your fingertips wide towards 10 and 2 above your shoulders as we move our way in towards oscillated cobra. Push down through the tops of the feet, squeezing the glutes, breathing in to push the ground away with the fingertips as you lift up and rise. On the exhale from here, lower your spine back down towards the ground. Eventually the forehead meets the earth. Inhale, push the earth away, lift up and rise. Feet push the earth away behind you. And exhale, gently wave your spine back down towards the ground. Inhale when you're ready, ground down, lift up. And exhale, give yourself space to wave on down. Inhale, hands meet underneath your shoulders. Exhale to tuck toes under and to give yourself space and time to lift up and towards downward facing dog as you need to. Taking a moment here to pedal it out through the backs of the legs, the backs of the feet. A moment just to feel in towards length through the hamstrings, the calves. Allowing the head to surrender to gravity as maybe you give yourself space to nod the head out yes and maybe no as you keep pedaling out the feet. Another round of breath here. And then when you're ready, give yourself space to pause. As you find your next breath in, walk the hands closer back in towards your feet so the heels land heavy down towards the mat. Grab opposite elbows, back the neck stays long as you gently sway your body side to side in ragdoll. Allowing the movement to come from the torso so the feet stay grounded and planted. Taking another deep breath in and out to allow your body to sway from left to right. And then when you're ready, move your way back through center, release the fingertips down to the ground. Start to find a roll up of your spine in towards Tadasana. Imagining here you could stack vertebrae on vertebrae as you eventually allow the head to be the last to lift. Deep breath in, arms reach up high to the sky. And exhale, hands move back into heart center. Take a pause in Samastitihi. Good work. Deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, sigh out and let it go. Inhale, hands move up high to the sky. And exhale, we start to fold. Moving the hips back in space. Eventually the fingertips release down to the ground. From here, we walk the hands back out and towards our plank pose just for a moment. When you're ready, drop the knees back down towards the earth. Walk the hands closer back in towards you, swimming back in tabletop. A moment here to swish it out, hips and shoulders, maybe bumping the rib cage side to side and left to right. A moment just to shake that out. And then when you're ready from here, give yourself space and time to move back in through center. Hiking the right thigh up close and towards your chest and stepping the right foot outside wide to the outside of the right hand. And then from here, we start the process over again. Giving yourself space and time to work in and out of the hips, moving them north and south along your mat. Finding depth in your lunge as you intentionally try to move the right knee over the big toe. And then eventually when you're ready, starting to make those big hip circles up and around your mat. Again, maybe they work in towards figure 8 shapes. It's up to you. Eventually, when you're ready, switch up the direction and move in the other way. Another deep round of breath here to work your way in and out. And then eventually, when you're ready, find space to pause. Walk the fingertips a little bit more forward to the edge of your mat. Really bend in towards the right knee as you lift the sternum up towards the front of the room, dropping the hips a little bit lower, low runner's lunge. And then when you're ready from here, left hand will plant underneath your shoulder. Right arm's going to peel you up and open and towards your twist. Again, we think length from fingertip to fingertip as we keep reaching up tall and grounding down strongly through the bottom palm. Right hand's going to move underneath your right shoulder. We'll walk ourselves into half Hanuman. Fingertips crawl in towards you so right leg goes long, right toes pull in. On the next breath in, walk your way back forward towards your low runner's lunge. Hips sink low, sternum stays forward. And then on the out breath, walk your way back in, half Hanuman, right toes pull in, right leg goes long. One more time, walk it back in. And when you're ready, walk it back to half Hanuman. Walk the fingertips back forward towards the front edge of the mat and then re-find your lunge. From here, left toes pick up and off the ground as you squeeze the left heel in towards your butt and then pivot the left toes towards the right heel or the right edge of your mat. Right fingertips move in towards the inner arc of the right foot. As you breathe in, left fingertip peels you up and open. Give yourself a moment here to pause, to stay, to once again to feel into length through the arms, the broadness through the collarbones. If it feels good, cactusing the left elbow as maybe you rotate the spine a little bit higher up towards the sky. Your next breath in is going to ground down through the right footprint, lifting both arms up and towards a little mini warrior 2, sinking your way in low. Inhale in here. And on the exhale, right forearm finds the right thigh as the left arm reaches up and over. Space here to find length through the left side of the rib cage. And then on the out breath, the left hand comes towards the back of the left thigh. Right arm reaches up and over and back behind you. Deep breath in towards the right side of the lungs. And an exhale to stay. Deep breath in. And exhale, right forearm moves towards the right thigh, right hand moves to the mat. Left arm picks up and over as the left fingertips come underneath your shoulder and left toes pivot back towards the back of the mat, back to low runner's lunge. When you're ready from here, pivot the left toes towards the left side of your mat. Right hand's going to stay planted. Right foot's going to move towards the back edge of the mat as the right arm picks you up and towards gate. A moment here to stay, to pause, once again to feel rooted towards the earth beneath you. The fingertips keep reaching you up and tall. If it feels good here, outer hip squeeze, right foot floats up and off of the ground. A deep breath in, and another breath out. When you're ready, right hand pivots underneath your shoulder, right knee moves back underneath you. Give yourself a moment here to pause, to stay. And then when you're ready, walk the hands out and forward towards the top edge of your mat. Lower all the way down towards your belly. From here, we find oscillated cobra one more time, untucking the toes, tenting the fingertips out wide to 10 and 2. As you breathe in, ground down through the tops of the feet, squeeze the glutes as you rise. And exhale from here, strong line of the back body as you slowly unravel back down towards the ground. Inhale, push the earth away as you lift up and rise. And exhale, wave the spine back down towards the ground. One more time, inhale, push down, lift up and rise. And exhale, unwind your spine all the way back down. Inhale, hands move underneath your shoulders. Out breath takes you in towards downward facing dog. A moment to pause, to stay, to pedal out, to do what you need to do. Maybe you nod the head out yes and no if that felt good before on the other side. And then when you're ready, return back in through center in stillness. Hands walk back towards your feet once again. Heels land heavy to the ground. Option here to work your way in towards a little ragdoll, back of the neck long, or to stay in stillness through center. Wherever you are, can you bend enough through the knees so the belly graces the thighs, allowing you to sway gently from side to side and left to right. Another round of breath here. And then again, when you're ready, pausing back through center. Releasing the fingertips down towards the earth. Ground down strongly through the feet as you unravel your spine up towards Tadasana or standing. Arms reach up high to the sky. Exhale this time, pull the elbows in towards cactus. Shoulder blades move down your back as you grow tall through the collarbones. Inhale, hands up high to the sky. Exhale, hands move into heart center. Breathe out as you start to refold. Fingertips land down towards the mat. From here, hands walk back out and towards plank for a brief moment. And then we drop the knees underneath us, giving ourselves space and time to swish the hips and the shoulders from side to side. A moment just to work it out, to pedal it out, to move through a little bit of organic movement if that feels good for you on the other side or the last round. Nothing necessarily prescribed, just something that feels good for you to shake out and into. A couple more breaths here to literally sway your body up and around in space. And then when you're ready, once again, we meet back up and through center. From center here, we take a moment to revisit our child's pose, toes together, knees wide as the hips drop back down towards the mat. Stay lifted up and off the forearms, and then walk the hands off towards the left corner of your mat. Maybe the right hand stacks on top of the left, allowing you to bow the head down as you pull your hips closer towards the right corner of the mat, but also keeping a bit of a push of the left palm in towards the ground, helping you to create a little bit more length for the right side of the body. So you can take one more deep breath in and a soft exhale out. As you find your next breath in, walk the hands over towards the right corner of your mat. Left hand stacks. Palms push the earth away as the hips magnetize down towards your heels. Deep breath into the left side of the rib cage. And an exhale to soften back down. Inhale, when you're ready, walk the hands back in towards the center of your mat. And this time here, we walk the hands a little bit closer in towards us. Right hand grounds underneath you as the left arm picks up towards the sky, taking you in towards a little twist. A moment here to pause, to stay, to feel in towards the openness. And then exhale when you're ready. Left arm threads underneath the right. Right hand scooches out and forward. Maybe the left cheek rests down towards the ground. We stay here for a few breaths to allow ourselves to settle, to work in towards the left shoulder. One more round of breath here. And then when you're ready, right hand grounds down. We unravel up and out. Both hands walk back in towards you. Left hand comes in front of your sternum. Right arm reaches you upwards as you twist. And then on the out breath, threading the right arm underneath the left. Left hand scooches out and forward as you give yourself space to come in towards a little thread the needle. Resting your right cheek down towards the ground. 3 deep breaths in and out. Ground down through the left palm. Slowly unravel the right hand back out. Both arms reach forward and then walk them back in towards you. Fingertips reground as we work our way through another couple of cat and cows. Breathing in to tip the hips as we lift the sternum out and forward, pushing the earth away with the fingertips. On the exhale, rounding the upper back, tucking the tailbone under as chin drops into chest. And move through this a few more times, your own breath, your own rounds, your own rhythm and pace, as maybe it feels a little bit more fluid. Maybe you can start to circulate your weight in your child's pose. Making big circles here with the chest up and around, maybe the hips get involved, whatever can help you feel a little more fluid, a little more ooey gooey. I encourage you to move into those spaces, those nooks and crannies. 2 more breaths here to work your way up and around. Last round of breath. And then when you're ready, we come back in through center. From center here, we walk the hands closer in towards us. This time here, we shift on towards our bones, so legs are gonna go out long in front of us. And then from here, we're gonna make our way on towards our backs. So when you're ready, give yourself space and time to arrive on towards your spine. Feet stay planted just for now. Once you arrive, draw the knees in towards your chest. Hands come around the front of the shins. A moment here just to create small circles with the knees up towards the ceiling, working your way through one direction as you massage the lower back, and then up and through the other way. Nice work, everyone. And then when you're ready, we take space and time to pause. We come in towards a happy baby. 2 options here for your happy baby today. One is to grab the outer edges of the feet as the heels kick up towards the ceiling, drawing the thighs down towards the outer edges of your rib cage. Option 2 is to have the heels hugged in towards the center of your groin, hands stay locked in towards the outer edges of the feet, or you can make 2 peace fingers and grab for the big toes. Whatever feels good is good, but just give yourself a moment to work in towards a happy baby that feels right for you. Keeping the sacrum grounded down towards the earth as you gently relax the shoulder blades down your back. We have a few deep breaths here to stay, to feel the body start to soften in as we move our way into the stiller part of our practice. And maybe you can feel a little bit more evenness in the energy that circulates through you. Maybe you can already tap into a sensation where you feel just a little bit lighter. Maybe a little bit more aligned than when you first stepped onto your mat. 2 more deep breaths. And then when you're ready, release the feet. Gently bring them back down towards the earth. From here, we'll take the feet towards the outer edges of your mat so you have more space and room for your hips. And then gently allow the knees to fall heavy from one side of the mat and then over to the other. So you're creating almost like a windshield wiper action here with the legs as you gently sway them from side to side and left to right. A couple more passes. A couple more breaths to work in towards the hips. And then when you're ready, allow your knees to fall heavy all the way over towards the left edge of your mat. If it feels good here, you can stay. If you want a little bit more or something supportive, squeezing the right glute to extend the right hip forward. This could feel really nice here to find more length through the front of the right hip. Or if you want more, picking up your left ankle and stacking it on the right thigh to pull the thigh down towards the ground. Glutes can stay engaged or they can soften. It's completely up to you, whatever feels the most supportive for your lower back. Choosing a position of the arms that feels right, reaching them all the way east and west, maybe grabbing opposite wrist up and overhead could feel really good. But wherever you are, intentionally trying to soften your energy down to the mat. If anything's kind of residing through the body, any tension, anything you want to let go of or release, using the in-breath here to help you do so. And the out-breath to help the body soften and move the energy out of your system. Breathing in any tension or anything that no longer serves you. And exhaling to let it go so you free up more room and space for what you need. 3 more deep breaths here, just like this. And when you're ready, gently unhook the ankle from the thigh. If it's bound, gently move the knees back up through center. We're going to drop them heavy all the way over towards the right. It could be nice here to shift the hips back in space to help you. And then again, you have options. Options to extend the left hip forward, squeezing the left glute. Maybe you stack that right ankle on top to pull the hips heavy down towards the ground. Or maybe you stay just as you were. Wherever you are, maybe you close the eyes, inviting softness back in towards the body as we transition towards the other side. Deep breaths in and out to support you, to help you work through the energy as you breathe in and as you let go on the exhale. Three more deep breaths. And once your third round of breath is complete, gently unhook the ankle from the knee or the thigh. Gently draw the knees back up towards the ceiling. Rescoot your hips so you're back through center, and then come in towards your Shavasana shape. Legs out long, feet splayed out to the outer edges of the mat, maybe hands on towards belly or laying down by your sides, or maybe you roll over onto your belly, your side, or maybe you come up towards a seated meditation. Wherever you are, I know it's really easy to want to move on with the rest of your day or to fall into bed, but can you take 5 deep breaths here just for you? To give yourself space and time to feel the energy circulate through your body head to toe. Breathing deeply into the belly as you feel it move towards the ceiling. And breathing out to feel the belly gently descend back down towards the earth. Deep breath into expansion of your energy outward. And an exhale to draw in as you feel your energy recalibrate. 3 more breaths to be in the softness, the stillness. And from here, once your third breath is complete, this is where I'll leave you. Make your way out of Shavasana as you need to, as you wish, as feels good and right, slowly reawakening by finding wiggles through fingers and toes or lingering here longer if you feel called to. This is your practice, this honor. It's important that you honor where you're at and what you need. And I hope you've done that today. I hope you've given yourself space and time to work through the practice as it serves you. And I hope wherever you are and however you're leaving this space, you leave it a little bit lighter than when you found it. Again, my name's Ellie Cooper. I hope you can join me here back online or find me on Instagram at _life of Ellie, or check out my website for retreats, for teacher trainings, for all of that good stuff in person if you're around or in New Zealand. My website is www.elliecooperyoga.com. You can find everything in the details below. But thank you so much for coming to your practice today. It is my deep honor and gratitude and privilege to be able to guide you through. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day wherever you find yourself in the world. Thank you and peace.